Hello and welcome to Sensational South. I'm Harish Upadhyaya. This is a show that gets you the flavor of South India. A fresh face-off is emerging between the centre and various states in South India. This is over the devolution of taxes by the 16th Finance Commission. There's already one conclave that has been held in Kerala. The second one likely to be held in Karnataka. All these states want to come together, put a coordinated set of proposals before the 16th Finance Commission seeking a larger amount of taxes from the central pool to the states. So what are their demands? Can they force the 16th Finance Commission to change their calculation when it comes to allocation of central pool of taxes? We'll debate that, but first the story.
In a bid to build pressure for a fair share in the 16th Finance Commission, Kerala government hosted an opposition-ruled state finance ministers meet and discussed fiscal issues. Finance Minister of Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Punjab took part in the conclave. Kerala Chief Minister Mr. Pinarayi Vijayan highlighted how many states have been forced to take legal action to enforce their constitutional rights. Karnataka government recently approached the Supreme Court seeking its share of drought relief funds after the centre delayed the release of money.
The demand for a higher share for the states in the taxes collected by the union is having continued relevance, and it is my request to the eminent scholars and colleagues who are here to formulate this in a concrete manner. This will help the states to make an effective case before the 16th Finance Commission for raising the share of taxes which are distributed to the states in view of the widening vertical fiscal imbalance.
Meanwhile, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has also written a letter to the Chief Ministers of 8 states, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Haryana and Punjab, alleging unfair devolution of taxes by the union government. Siddaramaiah has already met the 16th Finance Commission and demanded that the commission includes cess, surcharges and non-tax revenue in the divisible pool to ensure Karnataka's fair share.
As a percentage of my GSDP, on every parameter, my tax collections have gone up. So my hands are tried in indirect taxes also. So what do we have left? Some liquor, fuel and 1 or 2 basket registration, which have a limited ability to support my growing needs, my growing commitments to the people of our states.
Joining us today on the show, we have Mr. G.S. Prashant, the spokesperson of the BJP, Mr. Dhruv Jetty, the spokesperson of the Congress Party, Vivek Srivastava, leader of the left. We also have senior journalist Ramkrishna Upadhyaya joining us on the show. Mr. Prashant, I'll come to you straight away. Look at the numbers that some of these chief ministers and states have put out. They're saying for every rupee that Karnataka contributes to the central pool, they're just getting 15 paise. Tamil Nadu says we are just getting 25 paise. You have states like Bihar, which is getting 7 rupee for every 1 rupee that they contribute to the central pool. UP gets around 2 rupees 73 paisa. How can the Finance Commission or the Union government justify this, sir? And states are saying this is why we want a bigger share in the central pool of taxes.
See, you cannot look at it in the manner in which Siddaramaiah has tweeted or what they are showing. We are not running away from the reality in terms of numbers. But what you have to understand in the devolution of taxes is how are the states getting compensated is one, and the states in need, which means when the 13th Finance Commission was there up till the UPA 2, the devolution was only 32%. From the central pool of divisible taxes, only 32% used to be given to the states. After the 14th Finance Commission recommendation,
yes,
in the 14th and 15th, it is increased to 42% in the NDA era. And one more important facet is the budget size was much lower in 2014 at 15.06 lakh crores And now in 2024, it's 48.21 lakh crores, which means on a higher budget and at a higher allocation at 42%, therefore the states are getting more. Which means the larger the pie, the larger the money in hand. And one more aspect that Congress and other left parties are trying to point out is that, look, there is injustice to Karnataka, injustice to Kerala. Is the Congress nationally now telling that in Bihar, that Bihar should not get more money? No, because they're trying to create politics out of this, whereas they have to look at it on a holistic thing, wherein nation should come first, Bharat should come first. Because if you don't look at the development of the nation as a whole, you can't fragment it and do this divide and rule policy. Because only because of the economic policies of the last 10 years that India now is in top 5 economies, from the fragile 5 in 2014 to the top 5 now, and we are supposed to become world number 3 by 2030. That is happening because of the robust
The
financial
allegation
management.
against the Congress is it's taking a very convenient stand at state levels. Karnataka Chief Minister will say something, the Tamil Nadu unit will say something else, but are they nationally saying give lesser to states like UP and Bihar and allocate a little more to southern states?
Can Congress take their position? Can Rahul Gandhi come out in public and say that he doesn't want Bihar to develop, he doesn't want money to come? Yeah.
Let Dhruv answer that.
Harish, let me know when you're giving us the time to speak, and we'll speak. Yeah, so our simple rebuttal to this entire facade of the tax devolution is that the Bharatiya Janata Party claims that they are giving 240% more. In reality, it is 12 to 13 rupees for every 100 rupees. So if there is a 240% increase, Harish, please tell me, would it still be rupees 12 to 13? The question here arises as to how unfair the tax devolution is to the southern states, and there are structural problems that I think we need to look at. And number one is the state's population, which is in fact a very key subject when you speak about the tax devolution. The 13th Finance Commission used the 1971 population census. Then you had the 14th Finance Commission, which used only 10% weightage of the 2011 census and 24% weightage of the overpopulation size. Now, this is where the southern Indian states had, in fact, gotten impacted. And at the same time, Uttar Pradesh's population rose up to 130%. Right? So now, please explain to me as to, the injustice, especially to southern states. It's quite valid because during this particular period of time, southern states went on to control population growth. We increased female literacy. There was reproductive health and various social indicators as to where we followed. Is it not right and justified for southern Indian states at this point of time, when it did everything right for the nation's development over the last few decades? And Harish, also let's keep in mind today, Karnataka, Bangalore, the Silicon Valley, as we say, has a number of people from different parts of the country who come to work over here. It is their right to ask for justified development and justified progress in the state. Karnataka's development equals to the country's development at the same time. Who said that it is just?
The 15th Finance Commission and the Finance Commissions before that. Let me quickly bring in Mr. Vivek here.
Harish,
Mr.
just a
Vivek,
small rebuttal.
For a party like Congress, can it...
Harish, just a small rebuttal to that.
Mr. Vivek, is it easier? I'll come back to you, sir. I'll come back to you. Let everyone make their opening remarks. Mr. Vivek, you think for a party like Congress, it's easier for the state units to say something at the state level but not take a position nationally. How does the left view this, sir?
No, absolutely not. I think the Congress is doing the right thing. Every state has, see, that is what I was trying to point out. The BJP spokesperson is giving a good rally speech. He's talking about Bharat Mata, he's talking about national importance, he's talking about a national vision. See, you have to understand state government's first prerogative and duty is the work that is allotted to them. So the Kerala government first has been elected to take care of the needs over there. Yes, we are a union of states. Every state has a responsibility towards the center and the constitution, no doubt. But budget planning and allocation and implementation has to be done on a state level. In Kerala, the Supreme Court, fired the governor Arif Mohammad Khan and said, you have been sitting on the finance bill for more than 2 years and the state doesn't have the money. So there are a lot of logical reasons. We feel that the central government run by the BJP is having a stepmotherly treatment towards the states run by opposition parties. Our money is not returned back to us on time, and the amount of money that is reverted back is also extremely less. So, as rightly pointed out by the spokesperson just before me of the Congress, that yes, if we are trying to educate more, if we are trying to do better family planning, if we are trying to implement things out, I mean, let's not politicize the issue.
Yes. Adding to that and taking this to Prashant. Prashant, look at some of the numbers that is here. 15 Finance Commission, 15% weightage given to the population. Only 12.5% given to the demographic dividend. There are many asking why are we still incentivizing in a way that population matters, so you will incentivize states that have a bigger population. Is there now time that we relook at the mechanism?
See, Harish, firstly, Finance Commission is a constitutional authority under Article 280 of the Constitution.
Yes.
So they will take all the opinions, consultate, they will hold consultative meetings and come to a conclusion. And government is not there to dictate terms of Finance Commission because it's a constitutional body. Point number one. And the second point I would like to make is Congress leader Rahul Gandhi goes across the length and breadth of the nation and this says, Jitna Abadi Utna Hak. On one hand, they want everything in proportion to their population and they want seats in proportion to the population. On the other hand, they say, look, when it comes to convenience, because UP gives them a grant 0 seats, they don't want to take anything from there. They are okay if
But
UP doesn't
Prashant,
get
here
money.
as well the same logic applies. They are saying we have a population that's contributing this much to the economy, the state GSDP is this much, and we want an equivalent or at least a justifiable share.
Harish, look at it this way. If at all 5 decades ago, Karnataka was not given so many public sectors like BML, BHL, ISRO, many public sectors which are based out of Bangalore, many other states were not given so many public sectors, which means when a country decides to move forward, it doesn't really look saying, should I give it to Karnataka or Tamil Nadu or Andhra, because ultimately Bharat wins. So therefore, development of different states should have taken place at different points in time.
No logic.
At the same time, we have to move forward. And now,
Okay, Dhruv,
coming back to say that,
quickly respond to that.
Karnataka has to get more money. Is Congress now advocating that Bangalore provides 80% of Karnataka's revenue, which means the entire revenue generated from Bangalore should be spent on Bangalore and Bangalore alone, and Kalyan Karnataka,
No.
Kittur Karnataka should suffer for lack of funds because Bangalore
Prashant,
contributes and
Prashant, the
development
argument
of
here,
Bangalore should
the
be at the
argument
forefront.
here, just to put it in perspective, Prashant,
Prashant, have you read the constitution?
just to put it in perspective, Bangalore contributes a significant share to the national pool, which means you will have to give that kind of infrastructure, and the state alone perhaps can't do it. For example, for the state to fund a peripheral ring road project of 25,000 crore, they would look at the center. If the money doesn't come from the Finance Commission, I will allow Dhruv Jatti to come in and make his point now.
Harish, keeping the politics aside, because I being Kannadiga, you being Kannadiga, and Prashant also being a Kannadiga, the future of southern states is important. And I have a simple question. The 16th Finance Commission has come and met consultations with the different states, with the southern states. But the question here is on what census are they going to be relying on? The future of southern states is extremely important. Has the census been done, Harish? It was supposed to be done in 2011. This lethargic mismanagement of financial governance from the union government is going to affect the future development of this country, and that's what Prashant was also speaking on the same lines. If they're really worried about the national development of this country, where is the census for the next Finance Commission?
2011 Congress was in power, my friend. You're saying that they failed to do it in 2011. It was Congress in power in 2011.
Prashant,
2021.
Prashant, your government is in power at this point of time, and that's 2021. And also in a rebuttal to Prashant's, about Bangalore, Karnataka. Bangalore is a part of Karnataka, and Karnataka is a state, and it's simple constitutional understanding. The state has the right to protect its citizens. I mean, is it that difficult?
So
It's
the country
quite
doesn't have a
absurd
right
that.
to protect its citizens, is it?
Harish,
India need not protect its citizens.
Okay.
Only are you saying the state is
Okay,
different from the
quickly,
country?
On the census.
Mr. Vivek,
Are you
one
saying
of the
state is different?
counterpoints that's coming in here is...
You're advocating a different nation theory, is
Okay,
it?
one second.
Like
Mr.
your
Vivek,
leader DK
the
Suresh did?
counter argument by many is that even UPA, which was in power for 10 years, didn't do much to address this. Even back then there were concerns, but didn't do much to address this and ensure that this formula perhaps is settled once and for all.
See, I'll tell you one thing about the UPA. The UPA was never had an animosity with the states which are not of the Congress or of the left or of the other governments. That's the first part. Since 2014, the political nature and the polity of this country has changed. There is a lot of resentment, there is a
everything
lot
has
of
happened only after
animosity
2014.
between the non-BJP
Till then
states
you
and
had
the
your,
central government sitting over there. Now the BJP
lunches.
spokesperson says the planning commission is a constitutional body. 100% the central government controls the way the planning commission works. And definitely there is interference. I mean, whether it is the UPA government or it is the NDA government. Point number one. Point number two,
Agree.
you
Congress
quoted
left did
Rahul
nothing
Gandhi,
in
you said
UPA one.
listen.
In
You
UPA
quoted
when
Rahul Gandhi
Congress and left was
and you
in
said,
power,
the
they did
benefits
nothing,
should be given in
which means
proportion of
UPA had
population.
controlled it.
That is only one part of it. That is only one part of it. Some appraisal also needs to be done, sir. After all, the kind of funds, the kind of funding, the kind of resources that you give to a state, at least you need to make the chief minister of UP sit down and ask him what is the net results in the he has been there for the second term now and where we are landing up. Same for Bihar. You had 13 bridges which collapsed. So I mean, there has to be some accountability also. Now, if we see the implementation of the policies and the money that is reverted back to the state governments in the southern states is excellent. If you see the way things were this time in the month of July and August, everybody was becoming a laughing stock. Right from Indira Gandhi Airport till the 13 bridges in Bihar till Uttarakhand, I mean, just see what is happening. And it's all BJP rule. Is there an accountability? There's no accountability. Can you point out something like that in Karnataka or Kerala? Some accountability also has to be done. And you need to change the formula. You cannot say the population of UP is growing. So
But
we keep on
one
growing the
major
money.
allegation that's coming in from the BJP, I'll take it to Mr. Ramakrishna Upadhyay. Mr. Ramakrishna Upadhyay, over the last couple of weeks at least, we have seen the BJP coming out and saying, look what's happening in Himachal Pradesh. The state has ruined the coffers, giving out freebies. The same will happen in Karnataka and Telangana, where there are freebies given. They also mock the Kerala model as well, saying that excessive focus on welfare perhaps will derail their economy. How do you see this, Mr. Ramakrishna Upadhyay? There is politics, there is criticism of freebies, at the same time concern about what it does to the state's fiscal discipline.
I agree with you, Harish. I think apart from the talk about the devolution of funds, there should be some kind of an agreement on this, the distribution of resources also. How do you use that funds? You cannot, just give us freebies and what some of the states are doing, and then mismanage the whole economy. So that is not going to help the country as a whole. So there has to be some agreement at the central level. I think the Finance Commission itself has to put some, conditions as to how the funds allocated to the states are used. So that is one thing. Secondly, you see, the population is the basis on which all these allocations are made. Is the Finance Commission going to depend on 2011 now? Because there has not been another census in 2021, and the COVID is gone 2.5 years ago. Still, there's no mention about when the census will happen. And this commission is supposed to submit its report by October 1, 2025. So what is the population basis on which they're going to do it? 2021 would be unjustified, because I think there has to be some consensus on what is the basis on which this allocation has to be made. So that's a very, very vital, issue on which I think there has to be some consensus.
Absolutely. Prashant, for example, the population of Bangalore in 2011 was perhaps less than a crore or even 70-80 lakhs. I'm not sure of the exact figures, but today we are talking about anywhere around 1.3 crore people in just this city alone. So how can this commission now work on a formula with the numbers that are pretty much obsolete?
Harish, when the Finance Commission takes into consideration, I'm sure they would have different weights attached and how they calculate population ratio and say how much of it belongs to 2011, and if any population increases happen after that. I'm sure they will work out based on the available data. Not that it's too early to speculate saying what they're going to come out with. The states have made the recommendations, they have given their suggestions, and we have to wait and watch as to what the Finance Commission ultimately comes out with. And it's not that
Prashant,
probably
the
in the
BJP
Congress
constantly talks about
UP era,
freebies.
they are dictating terms to them. But being a constitutional body, BJP never interferes with the working as the left leader wanted to interfere.
Okay, let's
they
hope
might have
so.
interfered in the past, but BJP
the question is, the BJP,
functioning of independent
the
authorities.
BJP constantly says that these freebies and guarantees are ruining the state economy. Why doesn't the union government come in and put in some sort of a regulation in place? The High Court, the Supreme Court has expressed its concerns. What does the union government do, sir?
See, Harish, as long as the poor get the benefit, we are not against the poor getting any benefits. But it cannot come at the cost of zero planning and say that the center gives funds and state distribute. That doesn't happen. You evolve a system wherein you make revenue streams available, strengthen your streams to earn revenue from the state. You don't do that, and in fact dole out freebies and then indulge in corruption on a day-to-day basis. Karnataka, can tell you, from day one, ever since they have taken charge, there's not a single developed project which has taken place, and probably astronauts put to shame to the size of the craters in Bangalore.
Giving away freebies, whether it's in Madhya Pradesh or Rajasthan, now in Kashmir. So they also
as long as the state can plan its finances, don't depend on the center for that.
The BJP also
you want to give freebies, have a plan for it, create the revenue sources. You
Prashant,
can't say, I want to give freebies and depend on center.
All of them have been guilty of this.
Harish, when the Congress does it, it's a freebie.
Absolutely.
But when
all
the
of them are
BJP
guilty
does
of
it, but when the BJP does it, it's called a social security scheme. Harish, the real freebie here is the 88 to 87 rupees, the hard-earned money of the Kannadigas, which goes to other states. That, Harish, is the real freebie over here.
I think you need to come out of this mentality to divide
Mr.
the
Vivek,
nation based on
Mr.
Harish,
Vivek,
divide when Modi.
Do you believe that once again the states will end up in the Supreme Court, sir? Karnataka is already saying 5,300 crores not given for Upper Bhadra project will reach the Supreme Court. No, let's allow Mr. Vivek to make his point.
He forgets federalism.
I can't hear you.
Is forgotten when Modi becomes the union.
Yeah.
Okay,
Please tell
Mr.
me.
Vivek, do you believe if the standoff continues, some of these states will once again end up before the Supreme Court? Your government in Kerala has already done it once.
Yeah, I mean, we had to go to the Supreme Court, and if need arises, all the southern states will join hands and we will approach the Supreme Court again. I mean, you cannot just leave the people who don't know the ABC of state and union relations and the subjects. They do not know about the concurrent list. They do not know how the money has to be given and how people have to be developed. Even today, now he's talking of the autonomy of the various constitutional bodies. Today, the Supreme Court in Kejriwal's bill, he said, the honorable judge made a judgment. Do not show CBI as a caged parrot. This is the exact statement, and it is circulating on your channel for a long time now, since the judgment was made.
Yes.
So, I mean, the government needs to interfere less in the constitutional bodies.
Unfortunately, we are out of
the
time
Left-hand
on this
Congress is
debate.
agreeing that
We
Supreme
will
Court
have
would
to
do
wrap
justice.
it. Thank you,
Harish,
Mr. G.S. Prashant,
Harish,
Mr. Dhruv
just
Jati,
a 5-second
Mr.
rebuttal.
Vivek,
I'm
and Mr.
glad that
Ramakrishna
the
Upadhyay
Congress
for joining
and
us
left is
on this show.
praising the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Because Congress and left is praising Supreme
Prashant,
Court
another
here.
day, I'm sure this is a debate that will continue even after this 16th Finance Commission submits its report. Well, at least in the next couple of years, this standoff will continue over tax devolution, over states going to the Supreme Court seeking specific allocations, and then eventually perhaps when that big debate happens on whether there will be delimitation in this country. Well, that was our top story today. We have a lot more stories on the other side of this very short break.